going to read another story from Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History. Whether you're a young woman or a young gentleman, you might benefit from hearing these stories about these bold female leaders. Today we're going to read about Josephine Baker. Josephine Baker was a singer and dancer. And part of this story talks about how Josephine was never one to fall in line. She always stood out and made her own way. Are you someone who likes to stand out and make your own way? Are you someone who doesn't always like to fall in line? Well, then Josephine Baker might be someone whose story you'd be interested in. Let me tell you her story. Josephine Baker, singer and dancer. Josephine had an early start in the entertainment business. As a child in St. Louis, Missouri, she would put on a song and dance shows with the neighborhood kids, and by the time she was 14, she was working as a stagehand at local theaters. The first time she performed on stage, she made waves with her wild dancing and silliness. Okay, let's stop for a minute here. Can you show me some wild dancing and silliness? Josephine stood out from the chorus line, and the other performers sourly called her a scene stealer, but that was just Josephine's style. Josephine's career really took off when she went to Europe. France became her adoptive country and Paris her stage. And when she returned to the United States, American audiences were not very receptive to her, a black woman who seemed too uppity for her own skin. Josephine, meanwhile, was shocked by the prejudice and discrimination she encountered. From then on, she had negotiated non-discrimination clauses in her contracts for her performances and fought for integrated audiences. Her fearlessness did not end there. During World War II, Josephine worked for the French resistance, smuggling secret messages in her sheet music and undergarments. After the war, she was awarded 2 of France's highest military honors. Josephine built a large, loving family with adopted kids from all over the world. She called them the Rainbow Tribe. In 1963, she traveled back to the United States to march with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at the famous March on Washington. She was the only woman slated to speak that day. Josephine was never one to fall in line. She always stood out and made her own way. She was a brave woman who was so much more than just a performer. Okay, show me that silly dancing again. And that wild dancing and silliness. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. So, if you're someone who always likes to make your own way, then you're someone just like Josephine Baker. Whether you're a guy or a girl, I hope that you find your way to stand out, to do what brings you joy, even if other people may not always appreciate it. That's it for today, kids. Join me next time. We're going to have another story from African American history. And we're going to be doing that for several more weeks. There are lots of Bible stories and other stories, books that I'm reading. So I encourage you to check out all the other videos.